Yes, my people, welcome back to another episode on the Pitch Perfect podcast of Trafford Talk. I believe this is the first since the international break. Um, I don't know why there's a echo. Just give me a second. Just give me 1 second. Um, I hope you people can hear me. I hope my audio is okay. By the way, but anyways, back again. Yes, people. Sorry for that little mishap. Um, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the show. This is the first Trafford talk since the international break, so this should be fun. This is the first of many. This is the first time I'm actually going live as well for Trafford talk. I just felt like what, how about we try something different where we can have people just hop on and hop off the show whenever they feel like and just interact, say whatever they feel they want to say, whatever opinion they have, whether it's on Man United, on other teams, on the matches. It could even be anything off topic, but I just felt like, what, it'd be nice to see people engaged, to see people come out and share their opinion if they feel the need to, instead of just recording offline and just uploading it without allowing people to engage. But without further ado, you people know how I keep it. We go straight to the point. We don't waffle around. We don't beat around the bush. We don't do no long talk. So I'm gonna keep it brief. I'm gonna keep this video brief as well. As you can see on the title, um, I'm gonna talk about Barnsley and Southampton games in isolation and just break down the key points that I took from both games. And then to end it, I'm gonna talk about the Crystal Palace game and just um, assess where I feel like we could hurt them and where I feel like we should be worried about them going into the game on the weekend. So going to the Barnsley game, um, seven Man United seven, Barnsley nil. I mean, the scoreline says it all. The scoreline says it all. There's no need for me to come out here and sit down and tell all of you guys how well we performed or how good we looked. I mean, 7-0 is, you don't win 7-0 by luck. You don't win 7-0 by mistake. For you to win by that many goals shows a level of domination, shows a level of control you had in the game, and which is what we did going to the game, starting 11 by in there in goal. I mean, I was happy to have Bayern in goal because we never we've never seen him play. We don't have an idea of what kind of a keeper he is, or whether he's reliable or not. So it was good to see him start. The back four, Dallo at right back. This is the first time we're seeing Dallo at right back this season, so it was good. Maguire and Evans. I mean, against a Barnsley team, you would like to expect to get away with that defense, but um, I hope that that's as far as we can go with that back two, anyways. And then Collier at left back. Left back is in his natural position, but you know what? He held his own, so I'll give him that. And then in midfield, we had Ugarte and Casemiro. Now, this is the big one. That's the big one because I was very, very curious to see. That's the midfield that I wanted to see. So I was very, very curious to see how that played out. So having Casemiro and Ugarte start was the combination I wanted to see. Anyways, Ericsson in the 10 was also something else I wanted to see because it's clear to see that Ericsson is not athletic enough. He doesn't have the legs to play in the 6 nor the 8. So have him in the 10, just in the attack, doing the creative work. It was going to be interesting to see. So that was something I was looking forward to seeing as well. Something I was hoping that Ten Hag would be willing to try. And then we had Garnacho, with Garnacho and Anthony on either flank. Anthony as well hasn't been given much of a chance this season. Not his fault. It's just it's mostly come to the fact that Ahmad has been good on that right hand side. So we haven't seen much of Anthony yet so far this season. But yeah, it was good to see him have a chance. And then we had Rashford in the nine. I was happy to have Rashford in the nine. I mean, against Barnsley, having Rashford in the nine surely is it can be a bad decision. You'd like to think, um, and also just to for his confidence as well. Just for hoping that he could get a goal for his confidence. And going to the game, from start to finish, we were oozing. We were oozing from start to finish. We were the better team. Barnsley didn't score. They never looked like they were going to score. They didn't threaten our goals at all. Nor our defense. Like Bayern could have gone home and came back, and still they wouldn't have scored. Like that's how comfortable we were. So no complaints. It's even hard to rate the defense to give the defense ratings because like we had nothing to deal with. Maguire and Evans had nothing to deal with. No balls in behind. No fast attackers. No, they didn't have much to deal with. It was comfortable for the back four. It was comfortable for the back four. Completely comfortable. Dallo Dallow's always oozing. Dallo always gives a 7 out of 10. Mr. Consistent. Collier had a bit of a difficult game, but that's understandable because like left back is not his position, so it's understandable for him to have a difficult game. But look, he held his own though. But the thing with Collier is that I don't like. Look, I understand that it's very hard to integrate him into the team just because of the options that we have in midfield, but I don't like seeing him get thrown. Get run to the slaughter type of thing. Like against Liverpool, 3-0 down, he gets brought on. Like, and then if he makes a mistake in that Liverpool game, he's hated for life. And then in this game, he's played as a left back as well. So it's one of those ones where it's like, you'd like him to just get given like a proper chance in his proper position. But you know what? Over time, hopefully that can happen. So, like I said, the back four don't have any complaints at all. The back four were comfortable. Midfield, Ugarte and Casemiro. Now, this is the midfield that I've been wanting to see ever since we confirmed the signing of Ugarte. In all honesty, they both look good, but the problem is that it's Barnsley we played against. It's Barnsley we had in front of us. Look, you gotta beat what's in front of you. Don't get me wrong, but it's really hard to judge. Like I said about the defense, both Casemiro and Ugarte didn't have too much to deal with, you know, against this Barnsley midfield, this Barnsley team. Just because they don't have any quality, simple as. But what I saw from the both of them, it looked good. There's a good balance between the two. It looks like Casemiro will be more of the ball player between the two, and then Ugarte will be the one to be the nippy one, to be the one making the interceptions, the one going for the challenges and stuff like that. So I like the look of that midfield. I was just happy that Kobe Minu got to have a rest because if we don't sign Ugarte, Kobe Minu probably starts that game. And Kobe Minu, like he's a good player, trust me. I'm one of his biggest fans, but he should not be playing as many games as he is. Like I worry that we could easily run him down to the ground. So yeah, the two guys in midfield, Casemiro and Ugarte held the midfield down. They covered the defense well, but like I said, we have to take it with a pinch of salt because it's Barnsley. Barnsley are shocking, So we have to take this game with a pinch of salt. But yeah, I like the look of Casemiro and Ugarte on the ball. I'm still looking forward to seeing more of Ugarte on the ball. I still don't have an idea of like how he's on the ball in terms of confidence wise and technically. He seems to me like he's better off the ball than on the ball so far. But look, we've only seen glimpses of him so far. So I don't want to sound too judgmental. I don't want to be making judgments too early. But from what I've seen of him, anyways, when he's partnered up with Casemiro, it seems like Casemiro will be the ball player, will be the one dropping deep. And I don't like Casemiro dropping deep because that's not the kind of player he is. But you know what? I'd rather Casemiro be the one, the ball playing midfielder, to be the one dropping deep, getting the ball from the center back instead of Ugarte, because it seems like Ugarte just prefers to get the ball just pass it simple, which is completely fine. You need players in your team that just get the ball, pass it simple, win the ball up high, give it to those who can make who can make magic out of it. So I have no complaints at all. Um, Up front, Anthony Anthony got a penalty, got a goal. Happy for him. I mean, you can tell the emotion in the celebration. You can tell how much that meant to him. Um, it's nice to see, despite the criticism, despite the hate, you can tell that he still wants to fight first place at this club. He still wants to show to prove that he's good enough. That's the kind of arrogance I like to see in players, because at this club, you're always gonna get criticized. The pressure is this high. So, you know, if you can't stand that pressure, you you're not worthy of playing for this club. You're not worthy of wearing the shirt. So, you know, you could tell how much it meant to him though. Scoring the goal. It was just a penalty, but just the emotion, you know, holding the badge and stuff like that. You could tell he meant a lot. You could tell he probably was going through a lot personally, and stuff like that. So I was happy to see him get a goal. Good for the confidence as well. Um, Garnacho, 2 goals. I mean, that's Garnacho for you. He might not play well, but his goal is he's always gonna try to be effective some way somehow. Whether it's being a nightmare to center backs or to full backs, or to getting a cheeky goal or an assist. And he got 2 goals, off the run of play. You can't complain. You take that. You take that. So happy with Garnacho, got the 2 goals. Good for his confidence as well. Because he hasn't been a starter yet. He hasn't started yet, so it's good for his confidence. Ericsson in the 10 had a good game. Had a very, very good game. We haven't seen much of Ericsson in the 10 at our club, so to see him play the 10, pulling the strings, it was nice. That triangle of Ugarte, Casemiro, and Ericsson was really nice to see. So yeah, Ericsson, no complaints. He got 2 goals as well, late on in the game. But look, even without the goals, I could sit down here and say that Ericsson had a good game. So it was nice seeing him in the 10, good for his confidence as well, the 2 goals. So Ericsson has been, yeah, he's held his own. He's held his own, because in the Southampton game, I was worried for him playing in the 2-way with Kobe Mainoo. I thought he was gonna get exposed, but he done his thing, on the ball. You know what you're gonna get with Ericsson: creativity, ball retention, calmness on the ball, press resistance. You're gonna get that, and that's what we got. And then Rashford in the 9, he got us the first goal. He started it off well, started the game off for us quickly. Very well taken goal. 2 goals from Rashford as well. I mean, look, good for the confidence as well. It seems like he's listening to the podcast, because like I was saying 4 weeks ago, that I have no qualms, I have no issues with Rashford having shit performances, but if he can back that up with a goal or an assist every 2-3 games, I can digest that, because I've accepted the level that Rashford is. I've accepted that Rashford is not going to be that Kylian Mbappe, or he's not going to be that magician that the fans have portrayed him to be, that the fans expect him to be. So a goal every 2 games, a goal every 3-4 games, I will take. So he got 2 goals, good for his confidence, like I said. Um, so overall, this game was just a training match, just at Old Trafford. It was just another training, just an open training match, basically. It was just a confidence booster for all the boys. Um, so brace from Garnacho, Ericsson, and Rashford. Good for the confidence. Overall, I'm happy. I'm happy with the team the manager put out with that team. No complaints. The changes as well. You know, bringing on Xerxes, Kobe Maino didn't even come on. So overall, I don't have anything bad to say about the manager on the game yesterday. He done everything right. He rested the right players. He gave the right players minutes. So I'm very, very happy. We done well. 7-0. I mean, you can't really say much. 7-0. I can't really come out here and say anymore. We were oozing. Barnsley were shit. And that's the game. Simple as, you know. Um. So it'll be interesting to see who we play in the next round. I'm hoping it's gonna be another team from probably the championship. But if we get a Premier League team, I don't mind anyways. At this point at this part of the competition, you're bound to play you're bound to play the good teams anyway. So bring them on anyways. So yeah, much impressed with the performance. Evans and Maguire. Like I said, the defense didn't weren't really up to much. They didn't have too much to deal with. So I can't really fault them for anything. Keeper got a clean sheet. Bayern got a clean sheet. But like I said, he could have gone home and came back and still Barnsley wouldn't have scored. So yeah, just happy he got a clean sheet, I guess. Just happy that it was a good confidence boost for the boys. So yeah, that's my take on the Barnsley game. It's really hard to take any key points because um, like I said, Barnsley are poor quality. So whatever you can take from this game, you have to take with a pinch of salt. 7-0 is it's not you're not gonna win 7-0 every other week, So you just have to take this game with a pinch of salt that Barnsley were the team in front of us at the moment and we just had to dispatch them. I'm just happy that we were very efficient though, because we've seen it with this team year in year out, where in this kind of games where we should be beating teams this way, where we just go on and nick a 1-0 win or nick an extra time 2-1 win, But I was happy that the game was over within halftime. The game was over, and that's the way it should be. That's like this is one of the very few games in a while where I've sat down and just been chilled all game, just been oozing, just been going on my phone and stuff like that. No worries. This is one of the very few games. Every other game, this team just puts me in on the edge of my seat. Always gets my heart racing. Because you just never know what's going to happen. But this game, we were comfortable from start to finish. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Take key points. Yeah, just a confidence booster for the boys. Like I said, anyways, just a confidence booster. Let's hope that um, this confidence booster will be enough to get us over the line against Palace. But um, yeah, big up to those watching again. I appreciate the support. Um, let's see what comment is saying here. Start padding in 4K. Hey, bro, you got to Hey, you got to be shameless out here, bro. You got to be shameless, bro. A win is a win, bro. Whether it's Barnsley, Barcelona, bro. 7-0 is always going to be 7-0. You take it, bro. You like they like to always say, you gotta be what's in front of you. You gotta be what's in front of you. It's unfortunate that it was Barnsley that were in front of us, so we had to dispatch. We had to do it. So yeah. Um Ten Hag finally found his level. Um hey bro, people I know people gonna go crazy on this. I seeing all the comments on social media. Oh, Ten Hag has finally found his match and stuff like that. Hey, look, people are always gonna make a meme. People are always gonna make jokes about Man United. You know, win, lose, or draw. Man United is always the topic of conversation every week, every game week, bro. So this is funny. This is funny, but hey, look, like I said again, this game we gotta take with a pinch of salt. Um, but yeah, going into the Southampton game. We played Southampton early 12:30 kickoff last Saturday. We went out 3-0 winners. Um, as I was saying on my post-match review, first 20, 30 minutes, we were on the ropes. We were on ropes. They were twisting and turning us. We were on ropes. We were in trouble. We looked to be in trouble. Um, Kyle Walker Peters was oozing. Um, Kyle Walker Peters dribbling, dribbling was cooking Dallo. Like I was saying, I've never seen. It's been a while since I've seen Dallo look that erratic, look that uncomfortable against a winger. So for dribbling to have him on skates like that, and even get him to concede the penalty, it just showed how uncomfortable Dallo felt within those first couple of minutes. And yeah, they were well worth their right in getting a penalty. They were all over us. Within that first 20, 25 minutes in midfield, they were bossing it. Ugo Chuku was bossing the midfield. Oh man, I felt like yeah, we could lose. And then they got the penalty. Cameron Archer misses it. Good save by Onana. It was a wake up call we needed. Um, had they scored a penalty, could have been a different game, But look, if buts and maybes, we will never know. Onana saved the penalty. I think that penalty save was just the wake up call we needed at the right time, because we go on to score minutes later from a Delic corner, from a corner headed by Delic, and then before you know it, minutes later, another corner headed out. Rashford on the edge of the box, cuts in, 2-0, game's done. Simple as. And that's how it is in this league. That's the levels in this league. That's the level in quality in this league. One mistake and you're out. One mistake and the game's done. That's the quality you have to deal with in this league. You make one simple mistake and the game's done. So look, we went 2-0 up. I was worried going into halftime. I was worried about the complacency side because we've had many games last seasons before where we've gone into leads, into games, into halftime and stuff like that with the lead, a 2-0 lead, 3-0 lead, and then before you know it, we're chasing the game and stuff like that. And people, you all know 2-0, 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in the game. So I was worried going to the second half, but going to the second half came on, Southampton were toothless. It just looked like they just felt like they couldn't offer anymore. Part of it could be the technicality. They didn't have the quality, in players, and also they just didn't have the physicality as well to go on 90 minutes, stride for stride against us. But they were toothless. They didn't offer anything. I generally cannot remember them having anything to scare us in that second half. We were in control. We looked in more control. We looked better in that second half. Um, and then Garnacho to just seal the game with the third goal. Good pass by Casemiro onto Dallo, who cut it back, and then Garnacho with the sealer. So overall, it wasn't a great performance overall in the grand scheme of things in the full game, but it was a very much efficient and effective performance. So, and you take that. Not every game you're gonna play pretty. Not every game you're gonna bob teams off the park. So you take this kind of games where you know you might not be playing great, but you win 2-3-0. So we take it. We take it. We take it. But yeah, a win is a win. 3 points. That's the most important thing. So yeah, Ugarte was one of my honorable mentions on that game. He was first to everything. He looked in control on the ball, off the ball. With his back to goal, with his back to play. When he got the ball, he looked in control. Even though he hasn't been in the team that long, so he hasn't understood the system just yet for that long. But he didn't look out of place. He didn't look like the league was too physical for him. He didn't look out of depth. Like he didn't look like he was out of his depth. He looked like he fits in very well. So no complaints. Ugarte was happy with him. Casemiro came in as a center back. Like I said, he got the pre-assist, perfect pass to Dallo, perfect way to pass. Couldn't ask for a better pass. The pass alone makes the decision for you. So yeah, and then Garnacho came on, impact sub, goal. Impact sub gets Stevens sent off first of all, and then gets the goal in the end to seal the game. So overall, the subs that we brought in held their own. They done their thing. So a very, very, very efficient performance. But like I said, it wasn't the prettiest performance out there. But you take it when you win like this. So yeah, um, Ugarte, like I said, he was an honorable mention for me. Ericsson, looked steady as well. He gave us a bit of control. He was good on the ball. Ahmad, I mean, bro, Ahmad's been one of our best players this season. No arguments. And because of how good Ahmad has been this season, I feel comfortable for once that on the right hand side we have someone we can rely on. Yes, obviously, look, the goals and the assists will come, but you can see on the performance, you can see the swagger that guy's got. You can see the arrogance he's got when he plays. You know, like his weight of passing. His agility, his dribbling. Man, he's got it all. It's such a shame that he's only been given a chance now when he's been at the club for, I don't know, 4 years. That he's only getting a break now. Like, but look, what a player. Good things come to those who wait, anyways. So Ahmad, very good performance. Kobe Mainu was very hot and cold, very very hot and cold. Got booked early on, but I don't want to say it's fatigue, but it's very hard for guys like for anyone in our midfield. Kobe Mainu, Ericsson, even Ugarte might suffer the same problem because this style that we somehow play or try to play, where we're expansive, where we have only one guy in the midfield trying to hold it down. In this day and age, it's impossible. That cannot work, you know. And he was getting exposed. I mean, we saw in the Liverpool game, he got bundled over by McAllister, and then before you know, Liverpool scored the third goal. And it was the same in this game as well. He was getting pressed. He was getting overcrowded because there were a lot of times where he got the ball and he's looking on his left and right side, and there's no options. There's no passing options. Even for the booking he got, it was from that type of a situation. He's got his back to play. He receives the ball. He's got no options. He's trying to shield the ball, trying to protect the ball. Gets dropped, grabs onto the ball, even though it was not a foul. He grabs onto the ball because he assumes that it was a foul. But he's only doing all of that because there's no option. So he feels like he has to protect. He has to shield the ball, trying to find an option in the meantime. And it's hard on the kid because he's a good player, but I really fear that, you know, the longer this goes on, we could run him down to the ground, and the longer this goes on, he might not even get the respect he deserves because we're exposing his weaknesses more than, you know, strengthening his strengths. We're exposing his weaknesses. So this is the problem. This is the problem that I have with the style that we play, the style that this team plays. That a style of play should be masking your weaknesses, but our style of play strengthens our weaknesses. It exposes our weaknesses. So this is the problem I have with the style of play, that the philosophy with this club. But what that being said, like I said, we won the game, so we take that. Um, Crystal Palace. Now that's the big one now on the weekend. Sunday, I think it might be. I could be mistaken. It could be either the late kickoff on Saturday or Sunday. I think it's the late kickoff on Saturday. I mean, Selhurst Park. Oh, okay. The last couple of years we've not been great at Selhurst Park. I'll be honest. I mean, last season Casemiro had a horror show there. He had a horror show. The season before, we just considered in the last minute when Olise a free kick. So the last couple of seasons, we've been hot and cold at Selhurst Park. Palace have turned it up when we've came over to visit in lately. So this is definitely a game that we cannot take for granted for sure. But that being said, Palace have not been in good form this season though. Like considering how well they finished last season, you know, beating Liverpool at Anfield, Oliver Glasner, like he got them on the roll, towards the end of last season. They were getting some big results in big places. So considering how well they ended last season, they haven't started the season as well as they ended the season before. I don't know what the reason that could be. Is it because they lost Olise and they didn't manage to replace him? Could that be it? Could that be it? I don't know, but they haven't started the season great. They don't have a win, if I'm not mistaken. Um, they lost the first game against Brentford 2-1, and then second game of the season they drew. I think they drew to is it Leicester? They drew to Leicester, and then no, second game of the season they lost to West Ham 2-0. And then third game of the season drew against Chelsea at the Bridge, and then just recently there they lost. I'm sorry, they drew to Leicester 2-2. They were 2-0 down and salvaged the draw in the last minute by Mateta. And then last night they beat QPR in the 2-1. So they've not been great this season. They've not started the season that great. They don't have a win, 2 points in 4 games. So they're there for the taking. Make no mistake. Let's be real. They're there for the taking. Um, but despite the fact that they've not won any games this season, performance-wise, they've been playing well though. Like I watched the game against West Ham, and they were bopping West Ham. They had West Ham on ropes. They were torching West Ham. Like they had West Ham on ropes, and then West Ham just got a lucky, lucky break, and then before you know it, the game's done. But this is what I'll talk you. Fine margin in this league. Fine margins. All it takes is just one mistake, and it's done. You know, Palace were bopping for majority of the game, and then West Ham just got a chance, punished, got the goal, game's done. Get another goal, 2-0, game's done. Bye bye. That's it. Fine margins in this league. Against Brentford as well, performance wise, they played well. Against Chelsea as well, they played well. They held their own. It's never easy going to the bridge, let alone getting a victory. So we were not expecting that much of them, but they held their own. They got a draw, good goal by Eze. Leicester, the game against Leicester go 2-0 up, but still, you're not looking at them thinking that, oh my god, these guys are playing shit. They're playing horrible. They concede 2 goals early, but still, you still felt like they had a goal in them. And they get a goal. They get 2 goals, and they salvage a draw. So performance-wise, they've not been shit to say. They've not been horrible, but they've just not been efficient as they were last season. So yeah, like I said, how much of it is Olise's departure, we will never know. But yeah. Um so from what I've seen so far this season, Palace line up in the three, in the back three. So it could be Joachim Anderson, it could be Joachim Anderson, Maguire, Klein sometimes. You know, they interchange it here and there. They interchange them, but they it's been a 3-4-3 from what I've seen so far. And then in the midfield, sometimes it's Adam Wharton, sometimes it's um what you call it, sometimes it's Jefferson Lerma, or sometimes it's Will Hughes. So they interchange it around with the personnel, and then on the flanks, the fullbacks, they've been consistent with the fullbacks. They've had Tyreek Mitchell on the left and Munoz on the right hand side. So they've been consistent on the fullbacks. In the front three, it's always been Eze on the left, Mateta in the nine, and then sometimes Edward on the right hand side, sometimes Edin Ketia on the right hand side. So on the right hand side, it seems like they're still trying to find the right balance, the right fit. But Eze and Mateta seem to be the front two, the starting front two. Anyways, the right hand side, like I said, they're still trying to find the balance, trying to find the right profile, because they lost Olise last season, so it seems to me like they haven't found their perfect replacement yet, because they're still interchanging with Nketiah and Edouard. So overall, looking at their team on paper, it's a good team. Very very good team, very very good team. Good players, good individual players. Like I said, Adam Wharton. It was a pity that we didn't see him at all during the Euros. But you know what? He's a good player, and good players always prove themselves anyway. So I'm sure we'll see more of him in an England shirt, anyways. But yeah, Palace have a good team. Like I said, our record in the last couple of seasons at Selhurst Park has not been great. But you know what? In previous streams, I've gone out and said that I think the Palace beat us, that they beat us 2-0, just because we've not been great this season. We've not been great at Selhurst Park in recent seasons. So I feel like they will beat us. But you know what? I don't know if we've ever gone 3 games on the bounce, on a 3-game winning streak under this manager. So that's why all these kind of things always play in my head. Like I feel like with this club, with this team, it's always like that. We get good results, and then before you know it, when we just start to get a bit of hope or feel ourselves with a bit more confidence, somehow reality just kicks in. Reality just punches us, like the football gods just come back and just remind us we were criticizing the team in the first place. So that's why I feel like with this Crystal Palace match, I feel like this match it could be a humbling. It could be a humbling in the sense where all the hype that we were getting, all the hype that fans were having, you know, after these two big wins, that this game could just humble us and just get us back to reality, get us back to earth. Like, guys, like, you're not as good as you think you are, type of thing. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong, and we go out there and snatch a 2-0 win. But one thing is that I'm not expecting us to play well. Because Palace are at home, I expect them to impose themselves on us. I expect them to have more of the ball. Um, Even if we do have more of the ball, I think Palace are comfortable enough because they play in a three. I expect them to be comfortable enough to drop down to a five defensively and just soak up pressure, and hit us on the break with Eze and Nketiah or Edward and Mateta. So yeah, I think Palace are comfortable either holding off and just soaking pressure or being in possession of the ball. So it's going to be an interesting game, a contrast of styles for sure. Um, I would like to hope. Look, depending on what team Ten Hag puts out there for the game, could be the make or break of whether we get a result or not. Whether he starts Ugarte or Casemiro, we'll have to see. I don't think Casemiro or Ugarte start. Personally, I feel like one of them have to start because I don't think I want to see Ericsson against Crystal Palace because Crystal Palace they've got the physicality, they've got the athleticism, and like I said, if you got a Jefferson Lerma and an Adam Wharton running at you, running at Ericsson, it smells like trouble, and I don't want that. I want Kobe Minor to have some sort of protection. So I definitely would like to see either one of Casemiro or Gaiti. If we get to see the both of them starting, I will take it. I'll take it. But I think for this game, even though Ericsson got 2 goals last night, I think we're gonna have to sit him out for this game, unfortunately. Nothing against Ericsson, just it's just because of the opposition we're playing against. Um, but yeah, like I said, um, Palace on the ball, off the ball, they're comfortable either way, depending on the tempo of the game, depending on how the game goes, they can adjust to both. So we have to be aware of that. Rashford got the 2 goals there, so he's gonna be a starter. I expect Ahmad and Bruno to be back in the team, Xerxes to be back. So because Palace play in the three, it's important that we have Xerxes in that nine, in the as our focal point to just try to just hold the ball up, bring us into play, you know, keep the possession ticking, that we've got an outlet always, when you're playing against back threes, that's the most important thing, having an outlet, having someone that can hold it to the ball, someone that you can play off to, you know. Um, I'm not so worried about Xerxes having to run it behind. I mean, I know Xerxes can run it behind. Xerxes is one thing about Xerxes, yeah, he's deceptively quick. He doesn't look quick because he's 6'4" and he's got that nonchalant look about him, but he's deceptively quick. Um, we're always gonna have Rashford as an outlet running in behind. So um, if you have Xerxes dropping in, helping the midfield, you're bound to have Bruno and Rashford always pushing in, running in behind, trying to catch the defense offside. Sorry, trying to catch the defense off. So yeah, man, it should be a good game. I hope we win, but I won't be surprised if we don't win because, like I said, I can't remember the last time we've gone 3 games on the bounce, win, win, win. Under this manager. So it's just gonna be so Man United like to to have these 2 big wins and then to go against Palace and get humbled. But look, we'll just have to wait and see. But other than that, that's my take on the game. Um, my predicted 11 for the game would be Onana in goals, back four. Oh, now I haven't heard much news about Mazraoui, Delict, and Licha yet as to whether they're fully fit or whether like them being taken off was just a precaution against Southampton. I haven't heard much, but let's just hope that they're all fully fit. So the back four is still the same: Masraoui right back, Licha and Delict in the defense, and Dallo left back. In the midfield two, now that's an interesting one because whichever midfield two we start with could be the make or break for us in that game. But for me personally, I'll go for Kobe Mainu and hmm, you know what, Ugarte. Why not? Why not? You know, he's came from PSG, so nerves is not a problem. You know, if he can cope in a hostile atmosphere like Selhurst Park, then he can cope. He can cope anywhere. He should be fine. Ugarte is a good player, so you know what? Let's give him a full Premier League start. Why not? So Ugarte and Kobe Mainu in midfield for me. Um, I think the front four is the same. Ahmad on the right, Bruno in the 10, Rashford on the left, and Xerxes in the 9. So that's my predicted starting 11. If that's their starting 11 we eventually go with, I think we could get something out of that game. Anything different from that, we're just gonna have to see. But that's my take on the game, anyways. Other than that, thank you, people. Thank you all for tuning into the stream. All those that were watching, all those that commented, that engaged. Appreciate it again. Um, like I said again, people, we appreciate all the support you guys keep giving us on all socials. All those who are engaging with us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, everywhere. We appreciate all the support. We see all the messages. Um, so we appreciate all the support. For me, I will not be back on stream up until after the match. I will have a post-match review after the match, um, immediately once the game is over. But I'd say, for in terms of content, Richie should be Richie should be on tomorrow. Either Richie or Lawrence, one of them would be on tomorrow, but they're both on anyways. There's gonna be another a chat about Chelsea episode out, and a chat about a Gunners Inside episode out within these next 2 3 days. So do stay tuned for that, anyways. But yeah, like I said, people, I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me, giving the guys, individually, those who are engaging in the channel, supporting, sending the channel to their friends, family members. We appreciate it. But yeah, people, I'm just gonna leave you, and I'm gonna be back for the post-match reaction on the weekend. Peace.